Ready, set, influence. What's up, Simon?
Hey Ryan, how's it going, man? You having a good day?
It is not too bad. I got some PTO the next few days, so pretty good. I feel like the last podcast we did, I talked about fighting with allergies and not winning that battle. Still fighting with allergies, but I think I'm on the tail end. So I think I'm winning the war.
Awesome.
I've lost many battles, but I think ultimately I'm going to win the war with allergies. We'll see.
It's that time of the year, buddy. It's that time of the year. Yeah, it's been interesting here in Dallas. It's been beautiful. I think I referenced it with my son getting married. Could not have asked for a more beautiful October 30th Dallas day. And then today it's been overcast, cold, and starting to sprinkle and rain. It's like that Texas weather is starting to kind of rear its ugly head. But hey, I got a question for you. We talked about this earlier. I'm just going to jump into it. As y'all that are watching this or listening, you saw this is the right sizing the Galaxy conversation. We're going to the holidays. We tend to focus on one series at a time. Kind of bringing the Z series back to your attention, or the S series or the A series. For the A in Galaxy and that sort of thing. But we're going to the holiday season where we know that all of these series are going to sell, right? I kind of look at it from more of a individual device series training. That's just what I do here. Ryan, however, comes at it from having been a store employee and actually been on the sales floor. So he brings an experience to this that I don't have. So I'm actually going to ask a question or two, and I'm just going to let him share his wisdom with us. I know I tend to talk a lot, and even when I say it's Ryan, I'm going to let Ryan talk. I kind of interject, but I think this one's going to be, we're going to kind of highlight Ryan's experience here. So Ryan, I know we were talking before, and I think you have a lot of good stuff to say, but if the question is, what can our audience, our FSMs, what can our FSMs do now going into the holiday shopping season to help their audience, those RSAs, SECs, whoever they might be, kind of come to the sales conversation in that right sizing conversation, that right sizing idea, when we, Samsung, tend to throw device training at them as individual series? Like, how would you, I don't want to say coach, but how would you encourage them to maybe help their audience?
Yeah, I would say probably the biggest thing that you could probably do right now would be really lean on those comp charts, those comparisons, portfolios, really help differentiate the S series from the A series, from the Z series, really help solidify that for the RSAs, because it can be difficult, when you're in a store and there's a lot of people in the store and you're just trying to get through your queue and somebody legitimately has a question, or somebody's telling you about themselves. You're asking probing questions. You're trying to figure out what the customer likes and dislikes, for you to, remember, oh, well, that's the different. This device does this and this device does this, blah, blah, blah. So the more that you can hammer home and train your RSAs and the differences between those different products in the portfolio, the more equipped they're going to be able to effectively, right size people. So that's where I would start, really differentiating those devices for your RSAs. Help them build some muscle memory in, selecting out those devices. But also, I think the other big piece is, help your RSA not put people into a box. And that goes back to, and unfortunately, a lot of sales training, because sales training is a very difficult thing to create, because individuals are different. Individuals are individuals.
Hey Ryan, hang on. I do want to interject one thing. I know. See, I do this. I said it was going to be all you, but that's what you just said. Actually, rears its ugly head in our training, right? Because if we're going to have a how to sell, or a how to pitch, or a how to demo, we know as people and buyers and shoppers that there's the whole sales process: finding out what I want, finding out what I need, what problem Am I trying to fix? Are you going to help me fix? All that kind of. But when it comes to training or a profile, we just kind of leave all that out and say, hey, Ryan, here's Simon, and he's a middle-aged man who's doing okay. He's interested in music and movies. Now go pitch this thing, right? But what you're saying is, no, we know that your audience, those SECs, those RSAs, they're taking the time to ask open-ended questions, probing questions, go a little deeper. So we do know profiles play a role, but to Ryan's concern, we can't rely on them in the sell. I think that's where you're going, right? We can't really your audience, our audience, FSM's audience, can't really rely on those profiles as the only way to see what somebody should buy.
Yeah. It's not a be all end all. So I would say a best practice is to, think of different areas of interest that, you can attribute to some of those USPs for our devices. So what I mean by that is like, for me, example, one area interest of mine is fishing. I like to go fishing. I even have gone, what some people call noodling, which is where you reach your hand in there and you pull a fish out of its hole. Like I've done that myself. Simon's like, nope, never would do that. But yeah, I have done that.
Dude, I love fishing. My youngest son and I fish often. I love ocean fishing. I love fishing. Noodling just scares the death out of me. Never going to do it.
Well,
Right.
Yeah, it is not for the faint of heart, and it is definitely there's definitely risk involved with that. But it's just something we do in Oklahoma, and it's a kind of it came from the Native Americans here, and kind of is a tradition in certain places here. But that is one of my interests, fishing. But also, I'm really into the high tech stuff. I built my own gaming PC, that type of stuff. I take apart different electronics. I have a 3D printer. I have like 2 or 3 Raspberry Pis. I have a bunch of different electronics. And so there's completely polar opposite dynamics that go on, so that's, if your RSA is relying on, oh, well, I can just sell this phone to the business person that does business, that's busy with business, right? They're gonna really limit that demographic of people that they could sell a Z Fold 2 or a Z Fold 3 to, right? Whereas if they take the time to find out what the customer is interested in those different areas of interest, then they can, tie that to a specific USP. So for example, like, yes, I like to go fish and I like to do these things, but I also like to, make YouTube videos and do some vlog stuff and things of that. So, with all my tech stuff and me being super techie, you might think, oh yeah, he needs a Fold. But once you know that I like to do the vlog stuff and do these other things, a Z Flip is actually, more in line with the things that I like to do. So that's where it's really important to kind of talk to your RSA about, hey, this USP, for people that are really interested in that might be ideal for them, but this USP could be applicable to multiple different devices. So that's when you got to find other areas of interest and dig deeper to get that full fleshed out picture to effectively right size your customer. Simon, I know there's a couple times you want to jump in there.
Yeah, no. So on my end, it's like I could not care less about slow-mo.
Slow-mo, yep.
But I like people,
it. I make fun of videos.
And I've had people try to show me how awesome it is. I don't care. But for me, I take a lot of concert photos. So low light, stabilization is important to me. And concert photos are one of the reasons why I absolutely love the S21 Ultra. They're the best concert photos and videos I've ever seen. But what's interesting is your story actually matches. I know we didn't talk about it last week at the CSMI data, and if you haven't watched or listened to that one, you should. It'll help your audience kind of come up with demos to match secret shopper formula, but also in line with what we know buyers are telling us. And a part of that data we didn't talk about was the pretty standard profile for Z Flip. If you look at the documentation that we get, if you look at the commercials, if you look at the marketing, skews younger and skews female. kind of is what it is. CSMI data is showing that one of the largest, if not the largest, demographic for buying the Z Flip 3 is Ryan and me. Older, and I know I'm older than you, but you're not young.
No, definitely not.
Wait, are you a millennial? I was gonna say you're not a millennial. You're not a millennial.
Yes, I am a millennial. I'm on the oldest spectrum of millennial. Yes.
Okay, I am not a millennial. I am a proud Gen Xer. But older men, older guys are kind of gravitating towards the Z Flip 3. Now, it's interesting why they're saying that, but it just, I bring it up here to kind of reinforce what Ryan is saying. Yes, profiles are important. And maybe with my hair, the way I dress, and my earrings, I'm a little less, this guy's a professional dude who needs the fold. Maybe it's easier to look at me and go, entertainment's important to this guy, by walking with a concert shirt or whatever it is. Maybe my profile's a little easier, but not all of them are. Right? I mean, Ryan got his, what's that called again? Y'all were schooling me on the name of that hat? Strap back?
Snapback.
Okay. It's
Snapback.
I don't know. That's, he walks in. Does he necessarily look super professional? Like, I don't know. He looks like a good old boy from Oklahoma who happens to be super technical, who happens to be really smart when it comes to electronics. Like, profiles are important, and I would say this. I want to take that back. I don't know if they're important. I would say profiles can be helpful, but they can also be a crutch. And we would just, with what Ryan was saying earlier, encourage you to encourage your audience, especially this holiday season, the sell season, where we want to sell out all these devices, the A series, the S series, and the Z series, to maybe refresh how to right size beyond profiles. Is that a good way to put it?
Exactly. Right size beyond profiles. I think that's a good slogan. We might have to add that to our intro.
There you go. Right size beyond profiles. I like it. All right. Ryan, I know we're starting to keep this one short. I know we all got work to do. We're kind of ramping up. We got exciting stuff coming. I don't know how much I can and should or shouldn't tell you, but the next big event we're working on, wink, wink, it's gonna be killer. It's gonna be awesome. Yep. Taking a lot of y'all's feedback. Like, honestly, like I'm saying this like I'm the one doing it. Ryan's spearheading this. Like, I'm just kind of support staff here for Ryan and Francie. But they have really, really, really taken y'all's feedback to heart. And I know we say this every time. I think it's going to be the best one yet. But
that's our goal every time.
Yeah, I know. There you go. All right, Ryan, I'm done. You got anything else to say before we kind of close this out and say our goodbyes?
No, I think we covered it all. The only thing that, I would just reiterate, really, give your RSAs or your audience that intimate knowledge as best you can on the differentiation between those A series devices, those S series devices, and those Z series devices. That's going to help them a lot going into the holiday.
100%.
Cool.
All
right. Well, I will see you on the next one, Simon.
You got it. Enjoy, y'all. Have a great rest of y'all's week.